Did I say happy, Pride Month? Did I do that in the last clip? Okay. Happy Pride Month. Okay, happy Pride Month. Not so happy in Texas though. Okay,
Okay.
because
All
in
right.
Texas they're making moves.
They're making moves. What's
Making
Texas doing
moves.
now? The great state of
Oh
Texas.
God. Republican Texas lawmaker seeks to
Starts off with
ban.
Republican. Sorry.
Well, this is what it says. I'm not.
You know what's funny is that I'm starting to learn politics just based on the stories that we're telling and what side is really talks about what and what side. You know what I mean? It's really
Yeah,
interesting.
but keep in
That's
mind we only
great.
talk about the nasty.
Yeah, but I mean that's the best side, is it not?
Yeah, but then again, they don't do anything
That's
good. So
politics.
they
That's
they don't
politics.
do anything good.
It's politics.
Case in point, Republican Texas lawmaker seeks to ban minors from attending drag shows. So there's more. Because you're thinking to you know what, whatever. Brian Slayton, he is the Republican that wants to do this. So he goes, I promised my voters that I would stand up for their values and fight to protect Texas kids. I was reelected on that promise, and I intend to keep it by this legislation to defend kids from being subject to drag shows and other inappropriate events. I look forward to working with blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's a little bit more here, and this part's actually important. So, Governor Greg Abbott, this is the dickhead that responded to the school shooting, right?
Mhm.
In February, Greg Abbott sent a letter to the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services directing the agency to, quote, conduct prompt and thorough investigation of reports if Texas children that are being subject to abusive gender transitioning procedures. So again, for clarity, if any Texas kids wants to get, gender reassignment, I don't know how else to put that, it's a problem for the doctor and the nurses involved in that procedure, and they're supposed to even investigate the parents.
Mhm.
So I read this article and I said to myself, wait a second, you need to pass a law to prevent kids from going to drag shows.
Mhm.
What about the parents? That's the first thing that came to my mind. What about the parents? Like, what if the parents want their kid to go to a drag show? What if the parents take their kid to go to a drag show? You know what I mean? And by the way, if a parent doesn't want their child to go to a drag show, right? Let's just say that the parent's taking that stance, and then the kid sneaks off, and the kid does what a kid does, and he goes to the drag show, and word gets back to the parents. Shouldn't we leave that up to the parents to discipline their children? Why does the government need to step in and create legislation to ban this? Like, does
Do,
it?
is Texas the same state? I don't know if you remember this, but like is it the same state where they're trying to overturn Roe versus Wade?
I think Texas is one of the states where that's not happening. Keep talking. I'll Google it though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that would be interesting because then it would show a pattern. You know what I mean? Hold on, find that first, because then
All right, hold on.
just edit to whether or not we know that. Because my next point is kind of based off of that.
Texas, Roe versus Wade. Here we go. Texas law would make abortion illegal if Roe
It is
versus Wade
Texas.
is overturned. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So this is the state that made a decision to overturn Roe versus Wade. You know what I'm saying? So what are we really trying to expect? Like clearly these politicians just have a lot of time to focus on things that nobody's talking about. There are laws that I'm sure a lot of people do want changed in Texas. None of them are the ones that are actually being changed. They're finding some other things to do. And I feel like they just have a lot of free time and they're just trying to see, like I said, it's funny during that video, I was like to say, let's see how far they're going to take this now. Because if this is a topic now, what happens if this gets passed? How far do they take it? Now what do they do? And it seems like they've already skipped over that, and now they're ready to see how far they can take it even before that's made. The decision is made on that. So it's crazy to me that certain things in certain states, I just feel like we need to expect it. This is something that's happening in Texas. For people who are in Texas, I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know if you had an opinion about this. They're probably passing different news to you guys over there. But if you are from Texas, I would love to hear how you feel about this. All of these laws that they are creating and all the things that are happening over there, and whether you're for or against this, because if it's a state where the people are for it, we don't know. We're not there. If it's a state where people are for all of these changes, then let me sit back But as a Canadian, I just feel like these politicians are wasting a lot of people's time. So please, somebody prove me wrong.
The shooting was that the was it Uvalde?
Yeah,
Was that in Texas?
that was Texas. Yeah,
So they want to focus their efforts on passing legislation for kids not to go to a drag show.
right. But they
Kids
can
were
still own guns.
kids
Yeah.
were murdered in a school. Parents are crying. Do something. Give us anything to pull these guns back. You don't even have to just ban them, but just something. Nothing. This is what they're focusing. And when you said, "Hey, I'm Canadian, and maybe this is what all the people want," like I get that, but I'm like we're also human. You know what I'm saying? So like we gotta have some sort of empathy. Like we can't get rid of empathy. You understand what I'm saying? So if we see it just because we're not there and they think it's right, should we not insert is it wrong for us to insert ourselves and be like, no, that's actually wrong? I know you guys are accustomed to this bullshit, but in the rest of the world, none of that actually occurs. And you may think it's okay because that's all you know, but it's actually wrong. If you look outside your Texan window and look at the rest of the world, you'll see what's going on in your state is not normal.
Yeah,
Like
definitely not.
if there was a mass shooting anywhere else in the world at a school, a K-6 school, the legislation that would be being rushed to be passed through would not be on kids going to a drag show. It would have something to do with the school shooting. But they're just like, another one, whatever.
I don't even understand how this is important. Like, where is this important? What was there something happening with the children over there where there's just where they felt like this was of that grave importance that they needed to be a law? Like, it's insane to me what they're doing. And then like, listen, man, go ahead, Texas, do your thing, man.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
because
I don't really
clearly,
have nothing else to say.
because clearly, you guys they don't have, and it's so funny because you got so many conspiracy nuts talking about Big Brother, government's constantly in my business. This is a clear example of government overstepping. They're trying to parent your kids, whether you're for or not for transgendered or drag shows or whatever. That's up to you to tell your kids they can't go, and if they go, it's up to you to punish them. What the hell is this? You know, another school shooting. We'll see what they do. God forbid. God forbid. But, it is America. All right. Viewing public, leave it in the comments. You already know. Deuces. Okay.